7 force field. Don't worry. I'll break you out of there. Glad I could help.
Hey guys, Katie G, Citizens Investigative Report. It is Monday, May the 14th, 2018. It's 8:33 a.m. on the East Coast. Did everybody, all the moms out there, have a very happy, fun, or nice, at least relaxing, maybe, Mother's Day? Of course, we were on the go all day long. It was just crazy, crazy day. But I'm back to work, and I'm going to go over the post with you now. So we have a few left over from the 12th that we'll finish up, and then we'll move right into the weekend, okay? So the first one is post 1345. Oh, there goes my phone. It never makes a noise until I get on with you guys, ever. Figure that out. All right, so it says, reread crumbs regarding Iran, and I have a little prize present for you. It was never about worldwide safety and security. It was never about nuclear disarmament. It was about opening a new untapped market. It was about securing a black site, the exchange, Uranium One. Risk the welfare of the world. Why? Money. Organized, planned by Bill Clinton, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Carried out by Hussein. Remember, HRC ran against Hussein. Uranium One, donations to the Clinton Foundation. That's how it was mostly facilitated, okay? 1.7 billion in cash transfer to Iran. 4 routes, 5 planes. Did the total withdrawal actually depart from EU? Why EU? Define bribe, define kickback. Special interest groups, SIG. What a US, EU companies immediately closed large deals in Iran post deal. And then it gives an article to the New York Times. Iran nuclear Trump business Europe. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Cross-check companies against political plus foundation payments. Define bribe. Define kickback again. Why are we panicking? Why are people panicking about the Iran deal pullout? They never thought she would lose. Truth coming. Q. Oh, thank God. Right, guys? We need some help. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this first. Sometimes it won't even pull it up. You know how the New York Times, they want you to pay. I wouldn't pay this rag tag. I wouldn't pay for anything. Okay, it's going to let me see it. Yay. Okay. European companies rushed to invest in Iran. What now? And it's from May 9th, 2018. I wasn't that timely. European companies moved quickly to invest in Iran after it agreed in 2015 to mothball its nuclear weapons program in return for an end to economic sanctions. And then it goes through and names some companies. Daimler, Siemens, Total of France began a project to explore offshore natural gas. Well, they were like I think they're the biggest oil and gas companies in France, okay? Yet, even before President Trump pulled out of the Iran agreement with Iran, many companies had already tempered their expectations and limited their investment. Now their prospects look murkier as European leaders try to determine whether there is a path forward without the United States. Yes, to the dump. Okay, so I'll leave this here for you guys to read. It's just about some of these different companies. General Electric, Boeing, Chevron, ExxonMobil. I mean, oh, this is so big, you guys. It's so big. We can't even believe how big it is. It's talking again about Total, this French company. Let's see. Trying to see. Airbus of France signed a deal to remake Iran's I mean, this is after the sanctions were lifted. Isn't that crazy? There's Total again. It keeps mentioning Total over and over. total. Yeah, so this is a good article. It's quite a little bit of a read, but it talks about all these companies that were moving in after the Iran deal went through and the sanctions were lifted, even though it wasn't even really a deal, right? Remember that? Let's see. So where should we start with this one? I guess right there. So they were basically, it's telling you right here that the EUs were being, giving bribes and getting kickbacks. They were being bribed. They still are. They still are by the deep states is like bribing them, not bribing them, but like basically blackmailing them right now. But we'll get to that. So an Anon, and I want to take this chance right here to shout out to all the Anons again. Since I started this channel in December, my big thing that I wanted to accomplish was to be a conduit between the 8chan board, since I was able to read it and I'm able to get around in it pretty good, and the public. So that's my main, that's the main thing that I want to focus on, is getting a lot of the Anon information. These guys, wait till I show you what I've come up with, what they found. And I don't find a lot of it. I'm just good at researching their research. Let's put it that way. All right. So an Anon says, why are people panicking about the Iran deal pullout? This is just his idea. It says people who were paid cannot make good on their end of the deal. Iran is going to, like all of our politicians. Iran is going to start naming names if they don't get their money back. Well, I see what he's saying, right? And it says maybe that's why Hillary went to New Zealand to get money. This is also why dignitaries keep traveling before and after POTUS to try to reassure everyone that they're going to take down POTUS any moment and the deal will still be good. And I believe that part of it's right. With Kerry going over and talking to the Palestinians, like, don't worry, he's not going to be around long. He'll be impeached or something, whatever that something is. All right. And then another Anon talks about he can think of two companies, Boeing and Airbus. And there's articles here if you want to read them. But we just talked about that in the New York Times article that Q provided. So what else? Oh, it's the same thing. What am I doing? Did I put it on here twice? Twice? No? Okay, I don't know. It was me, I guess. Sorry about that. All right, so he said to go back and reread the drops about Iran. So if you click on the PDF in here, I made a PDF, and this contains every single drop that mentions Iran. It's 21 pages long, but it's only Q posts that mention Iran, and it looks like this when you pop it out fully, okay? So I will link this in the description of the video as well as leaving it on the Trello card. It's really a good idea to go back and see if you're a little murky on what's going on in Iran. It's kind of neat to see how you can go back to the beginning now and see that he's been telling us about this, really laying it out since the very beginning. Like this was the first post 39. Would it blow your mind if I told you Barack Obama has been to North Korea and perhaps there now? Well, back then it might have, but it wouldn't now, right? Why did his administration do little to slow their nuclear missile capabilities? Who feeds North Korea with strategic intel? Iran. What deal was done with Iran under Barack Obama? See what I mean? How like far we've come along. And then the more you read these from, the oldest to the newest, the more you're going to understand what's going on. He tells us right here. This was in November 2nd, one of the very big drop. How did North Korea obtain uranium? How did Iran obtain uranium? I don't know that we paid. I mean, we didn't really know. So we were struggling back then to figure out how all this went down. And now we know. I mean, it's just amazing. What was carried on a private plane to Iran? Money. I mean, it gets into the family. What family was allowed to leave after 9/11. I mean, and when you start reading all these together, you just think, oh my God, this is so big. So anyway, I made this for you. I actually read it myself, obviously while I was creating it, but it's a really good brush up on Iran. Okay. So it's there for you, and you just have to, it's right here. Reread. It's a PDF. Okay. and I'll try to remember to put it in the description, but don't beat me up. I don't have time to drop it into the comments when you guys ask me. So when you're commenting, if you ask me for a link and I don't do it, I just don't have time. So try to go to the link in the description to the Trello board, and you can download it right here. If you have trouble getting to the Trello board, like I said, I'll try to remember to put this in the description for you. Because what I'll do is I'll open it up right now, and I'll just leave it open on the desktop. So when I upload the video, when it's finished, I will remember to do it. Okay. All right. And then the other thing is, oh, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what I'm doing? If you do, if you know what I'm doing, tell me. Oh, hey, one more comment since I'm talking about comments. If you guys drop a link to share with me in the comments section, I won't get it. It goes straight to you might see it show up, but it's you're the only one that can see it, because it goes straight to my spam box and it's automatically deleted because people have put bad links in there. Like, I don't know if they're like trolls or what, where, you know, I'm not. So if you see it, or you see someone else's on there, it's every now and then it'll let one slip through. But 99% of them don't come through, because I don't want people clicking on things that are wrong. So if you say, hey Katie, check out this link, or check out this YouTube video. Well, first of all, I don't have time, and I wished I did, but I don't. And second of all, I'm trying to block them as much as possible and just delete them, because so I just don't want you to waste your time. Okay. You know, I know you want to tell me stuff that other creators are doing, or other videos that you've seen, or other ideas that you have. And I appreciate that. And even if you email them to me, I very rarely, I mean, you cannot believe how many people want me to look at links, and I just don't. I wish I had time, but I don't. So I typically delete them, and I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything like that. I just don't have time. I wish that I could. I probably get no less than 50 or 60 links a day, and there's usually anywhere upwards of 100 to 150 links that get thrown in the spam box. So I apologize if you're trying to help me, and I really appreciate it, but I just can't check them. All right, just wanted to save you the trouble. All right, so I put the links on here to the fountain, because on this post it talks about cross-check companies against political and foundation payments. So once we know who some of the companies are, I just put this on here as a reference for you. But you can go, here's the Clinton Foundation donors, McCain Institute donors, and the Obama Foundation. So I haven't had time. I've done it a little bit, but and we'll get to that in another future post. But this is just a resource for you if you ever need it. So like, you can go here. Here's the McCain Institute, and it'll give you the donors, and you could just see some of the crap that goes on in here. The Aranda Rothschild Foundation, Sir Evelyn and Lynn Forrester de Rothschild. Really? Nice. FedEx, Freeport, GE. It's crazy. Royal Embassy of Saudi Arabia. It's just insane. Walmart. So you can see, you know, the Perlman family. Nice. Okay. Anyway, this is 100,000 and above. You can kind of like go, you know, lesser than that, and it'll bring up a whole new set of donors for you. Anonymous Foundation donation. I mean, give me a break. You know, it's just kind of neat to look through here. Lipton's a good name, you would know. Louder. George Soros. SpaceX. Yeah, interesting. It's interesting to see. So that's on here for you as well. See who some of the donors are for all three foundations, Obama, Clinton, and McCain. Because those are going to be the three that we really probably should focus on. I'm sure there's more, but you know, Nancy Pelosi, if she has a foundation, that'd be a good one. All right, 1346 is just to the bottom. It's just the bottom part of the same post, okay? Digest. Next. What CEOs have resigned post-POTUS election? Cross-check against companies in Iran post-deal. You have more than you know. Happy hunting, Q. The Anons are really working hard on this over there, but here's some of them that I got from over there. Randall Stevenson from Boeing. Hans-Peter Porsche from Porsche, right? Ron Stack from Reuters. I'm sorry. From I don't know. I forget who Volkswagen. Okay. And then another person from Volkswagen who replaces them. Kurt Bach, BASF, and then there's that Daimler. That's one that these are all Iran related companies. Okay, Airbus right here. Oh wow, isn't that crazy? Airbus. So these are the ones that have quit. Like what Q said to check was, what CEOs have resigned post POTUS election, and that this is a list of the ones that the ANONs came up with. Pretty good find there, and all the links to the thing to the articles about them are there too. So, and an ANON found the most amazing thing. He found this thing. It's called United Against Nuclear Iran.com/IBR. And what this is, wait till this comes up. Well, maybe I already brought it up. No, I didn't. Iran Business Registry, IBR. And this gives you all of the companies that are doing business from around the world with Iran. Yeah. And then and some of them have withdrawn. So like you can see like this company, Acrobits, and this one, Adaptive Mobile, they've withdrawn their thing. But you can go in here and like, let's say you wanted to see like the United States. Then you just go down and hit USA and hit apply. And these are your companies that are doing business with Iran. 3M. And if it doesn't say withdrawn, then they're still doing business. It's unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Look at these companies. Alpha International, Amazon, of course, obviously. American Life, American Popcorn Company, Amatec, Apple, AT&T. Here's one that's Baker Hughes is removed. Bank of America, Baxter International. I mean, we're just in the B's. It goes on and on and on. ExxonMobil. So you cannot imagine the size of these. So these companies are all oh, wow. Okay. So that's that. So like if you wanted to see the ones in like France, for example, you could just click this and then go up to France and click apply. Now it's going to bring up all the French companies. Yep. Sure is. Here's one that came out. They're probably glad. Yeah. So just wanted you to see that. Okay. So if you want to get a closer look and look for yourself, and some of those guys that resigned were companies that both were doing business after and then resigned after POTUS became president. That tells you a lot. They don't want to get in trouble. And this is where I got this list from, and the link was from this ANON right here. That gives the link to the what I was just showing you. So thank you to him. All right, and then again, if for those of you who do your own research, you can use that company's doing business with Iran, and then you can match them against the Clinton Foundation donors, and the Barack Obama is in the other one. So another ANON came up with this little chart thing that has here's the sauce in a PDF version with links, and this is where I got all the names from that I copied and that are right inside that last post. And here's some companies that are involved. Look at this. And then it's got the people that stepped down. These are all the people. So just what I had, showed you, this is a better way of looking at it. So like here's the US, we've got, Boeing, and GE, and we've got the UK has BP, Royal Dutch Shell. I mean, I don't think it's all of them because that other thing, but this is the big ones. And these are all the CEOs that have stepped down since POTUS became president. It's amazing. I guess they have new ones or the companies have withdrawn. So, anyway, there's a PDF of it here as well. If you wanted to send it to somebody, there's a picture here you can copy. Just click on it and right click and click save image as, and you can save it to your computer. Okay. All right. I hope that helps. It's kind of, that's if you just want to go. I like to look at that stuff just when I have nothing else to do. Well, which never happens, but I like to dig into it and just see what I can find. I like to take a company and then cross-check it against the foundations, especially the ones that had CEOs step down. Those are your companies that are doing something nefarious for sure. All right. So he says, you have more than you know. Happy hunting. Then an Anon posts this. He says in post 1347, May 12th, he says, they are freaking out because someone in Iran has threatened to name names of politicians in the West who took bribes to get the deal done. There is a tweet to that effect a couple of breads ago. And then Q says, news is beginning to leak, not new to Anon's old. Future proofs past, eyes on Q. Yeah, because they did a big dig on this a while ago. They kind of knew this was going to come. This was happening. And I looked back and you can also like see how long ago in that PDF that I created with all the posts about Iran, you can see when they started digging on this stuff here. So, talks about bribes a lot. So here's the tweet that he was talking about. He called it a twat. Sorry guys, I couldn't help it. I know, it's bad. I couldn't help it. All right. I apologize. Okay. So this guy, Rahman Ghavami, says H.J. Ansari Zarif, senior advisor, says, if Europeans stop trading with Iran and don't put pressure on the U.S., then we will reveal which Western politicians and how much money they had received during nuclear negotiations to make the hashtag Iran deal happen. That would be interesting. JCPOA. Oh boy, I'm telling you that these people that put this plan together are absolute geniuses. They're put the squeeze on everybody. And then this lady says, and she tweets about Iran a lot. Looking forward to finding out. And then she gives his name, senior advisor, and she repeats what he did. Oh, and then she quotes this guy. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'm just like, dude, you cannot make this stuff up. You cannot. So the Gateway Pundit says, now this, Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Hussein Jabiri Ansari warned Western officials this week that if they do not put pressure on the Trump administration, the Iranian regime will leak the names of all Western officials who were bribed to pass the weak deal. This is the guy that said it. So I was able to confirm it from Gateway Pundit. And here's the link to the article here. And I just put a copy of the tweet because I have it embedded in this card. I just put the link here and it embeds it. But if somebody deletes the tweet, and then I just have a copy of it in there in case I ever need it in the future. All right. Oh, brother. This is going to be a really seriously interesting next couple of weeks with Iran. So then an Anon says, nuke inspector quit in post 1348. And Q says, coincidence, days after the Iran deal withdrawal, corruption everywhere, Q. And yeah, apparently. And then I put the link to the article. Fox News says UN's top nuclear inspector resigns suddenly. Huh. And that was on May the 12th. That was on Saturday? Yeah. Listen to me. Don't tell me it's not happening. Yes, it is. And if you want to make a comment, I just delete it. So go ahead and tell me that I'm stupid for following Q and I'll just delete you. It's so simple. Okay. I just thought, I'm just so done with those. And sometimes I can tell they're not trolls. They're just people that are, it's like, oh God, I'm so tired of the whining and complaining and then the trolling. Oh, stop it. Okay. Actually, I laugh at you when you do that. So stop it. Okay. I want to say, if you don't believe in Q, why are you watching my video? It's so dumb. That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's such a waste of your time. Okay, anonymous person, the Anon says, we are not divided. Don't let the concerned fags tell you otherwise. The core is finally healing with the bad actors out of the way. Things are looking up. We are in this together. We're finally communicating again. All is good. Cannot say enough. Thank you. And then I guess he gives his initials. I don't know. And then Q says, Godspeed, Patriot, Q. So that's a good thing. Not much to say about that one. That's pretty easy to... Some of these don't need to be decoded. They need to be researched. There's a difference. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I get my decoder ring out. You know, I got it in my Fruit Loops box. That's where I got it. One of those. Remember that when you were a kid? Oh, if you don't remember that, they don't put good stuff in cereal anymore. Do you know how come I know? Because I look. When I go to the grocery store, I'm like, oh, they don't have anything. It's crap. It's all crap in that cereal now. We used to have that. Remember the decoder ring came with a little book and you scratched the stuff off inside the book and then you looked at it with your ring. Oh, okay. All right, I'm getting serious. Sorry, guys. I can't help it. I digress. If America falls, the world falls. God bless our brave fighting men and women. That's true. If America falls, the world falls. They deserve our deepest gratitude. Through their strength and the millions of united patriots around the world, we will succeed in this fight. Peace through strength. Now comes the pain. Q, I hope that's not for us. I hope it's the pain for them. Okay, so this is a really good time for me to address the people. I have tons of people from the UK that follow this channel. Thank you so much. Oh, God, almost from everywhere. Australia, Ireland, New Zealand. I mean, there's people that follow this Q and my channel in particular from all over the world. I get emails from you guys and I love you. So listen to me. If America falls, the world falls. It doesn't mean we're the greatest thing that ever since sliced bread. Of course, I live here, so I think that, right? I'm a United States patriot, so of course I think we're the best. But our country has a lot on its shoulders right now. We have to make this happen so that it can happen. It's going to be a domino effect. Listen, you're all Q patriots, all of you, regardless of whether, not just the United States. You know what I mean? It says, through their strength and millions of united patriots around the world. Let's make Britain great again. Let's make Australia great again. Let's make, where we go one, we go all. So listen, our military guys and our POTUS, their success means your success. So it's going to come worldwide. It is. There's no other way around it. It's gonna, you can see it's already affecting. Look at North Korea, look at China, look at Russia, look at, the future for Iran is going to be glorious. 2018 is going to be glorious. Okay. And then what's going to happen is, the far left is going to completely crumble, and probably the rhino right is what I call them, the never Trumper right, they're going to fall as well. So, yeah, that's going to happen in every country, I hope. All right, 1351. The top part of it just shows that post that lists all the DOJ and FBI, if it'll ever come up here. Really? All the DOJ and FBI people that have, look at this list. The DOJ and the FBI have been cleaned out. The only person left standing over there that's corrupt, totally corrupt, is Peter Strzok or Strzok or however you say it, because he's still giving testimony to the grand jury. When he's finished, he'll be let go, just like Lisa Page. They're done with her. Okay, so let's go to the next part of the post. I had to cut it in half because it didn't really want to all fit up there apparently. All right, so this is the post. Sealed indictments. Define indictment. An indictment is a formal accusation against one or more defendants, charging them with one or more crimes. In the federal criminal system, the indictment is the principal method by which a prosecutor initiates criminal proceedings. So it's more so a formal accusation. It's really nothing more. How are they sealed? How are they secured? How are they safeguarded? Well, they're federal, number one. No leaks. Unusual. Federal versus, I believe he's trying to say state here, federal versus state, because this isn't going to reach the state level, these kind of things. Why are accusations sealed? Grand jury involved? Reread crumbs regarding DOJ, FBI, regarding IG Huber, the Inspector General, and U.S. Attorney Huber. Who appointed Huber? Sessions. What departments must be clean? prior to receiving fair and equal justice. He gives you the answer right there, under the law. So the Department of Justice and the FBI. So the executive branch, basically. What happens if if federal criminal indictments are brought forth to a corrupt FBI, DOJ, or federal judge? Well, you know, if the FBI investigates it and refers it to the DOJ for prosecution and they're corrupt, they'll nix it right there. If the FBI is corrupt, they won't even investigate it correctly, like we've seen with all these things to do with Clinton. And if the federal judges are corrupt, they're not even going to let it come to a head. They won't even. They'll just make an unfair judgment. So FBI, DOJ is first, CIA/state next. Now comes the pain. Q. Okay. So there's a lot in that right there that we'll go over. So he asks the question. Let's do it this way. Good Lord, Katie. Maybe I'm never going to have this problem again. I should get my new computer today. Whoop, whoop. Okay. He asks this question. Why are accusations sealed? And, what define indictment? So let's take a look and see what I found. Indictment is a scary word for some people, but actually it's just an official way of accusing someone of a felony crime. Indicted means the case has gone before a grand jury of up to 23 people, and those people believe that the suspect probably has committed the crime he's accused of, and so it should be brought to trial. A sealed indictment is the same thing done in secret, so the offender doesn't know he's about to be arrested, so he doesn't flee. So a sealed indictment. When an indictment is issued on someone, it means he will definitely be arrested and charged with a crime. And a sealed indictment is simply an indictment that is kept secret from the public. At this point, no one can disclose the existence of the indictment, so no one knows who is under investigation for a crime and what offense he allegedly has committed. At some appropriate moment, I can't wait, right, guys? Which prosecutors decide, the indictment is unsealed and the warrant is issued for the suspect's arrest. So while an indictment may start out sealed, it will become unsealed before the defendant goes to trial. Sealed indictments reduce flight risk, and you can read this yourself, but yeah, that's the main reason for it, especially with the numbers that are coming out right now. Oh, I already did that one. Oh, well, here it comes again. Oh, maybe not. Yay. You mean I did something right? Are you guys laughing at me? Oh, stop. Stop laughing at me. Okay. Only for felony crimes. If someone is indicted by a grand jury, then the charges typically will include at least one felony crime. The Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution prevents capital or infamous crimes from being charged without presentment to a grand jury. That's why many states use them to charge felonies. Well, we're not really talking about state crimes here, but I just wanted you to see this. For offenses like sex crimes and drugs conspiracy, there's a fair chance the indictment will be sealed at first instance. Yeah, because they don't want them to notify everyone else. And then also, massive flight risk, because those are definitely the types of crimes people flee from. So back in March, I did a little video, a little series on Trello called the Trust Sessions Edition. So I brought some stuff over, but if you want to see that when you're in this card, you can just click here and it will take you to that card that breaks. It's got tons of articles about Jeff Sessions and what he's doing really behind the scenes, but you can see. No, thanks. Oh, I hate that. Look what it just did. Okay. Attorney General Sessions names prosecutor to probe FBI DOJ March 29th. And this was during, so Attorney General Jeff Sessions revealed on Thursday that Utah's top federal prosecutor is investigating allegations of misconduct atop the Justice Department and FBI. So he's looking, he's 2 years. According to Sessions, Huber has already been looking into allegations that the DOJ and FBI acted improperly in how a warrant to monitor Trump campaign aide Carter Page was obtained. So he's looking at that. Leading up to 20, as well as the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton had in the Uranium One deal. So we know he's looking at DOJ, FBI, Uranium One. Okay. I think there's more. Let's see. And here's the letter here, but that wasn't enough for Grassley and Graham, who renewed their call for a special counsel. So they were, yeah, okay. Well, he pretty much after that came out and said, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So this is from the Department of Justice, Office of Legislative Affairs. I believe it's signed by Stephen Boyd, Assistant Attorney General, and he's replying saying, you know, in which you members requested a special counsel. As noted, the Department of Justice Department takes seriously its responsibility, blah, blah, blah. To further that goal, the Attorney General has directed, let me make this bigger so you can see. So to further that goal, Attorney General has directed senior federal prosecutors plural, to evaluate certain issues raised in your letter. These senior prosecutors will report directly to the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General as appropriate, and will make recommendations as to whether any matters not currently under investigation should be opened, whether matters currently under investigation require further resources, or whether any other oh my God, and whether any matters merit the appointment of a special counsel. So, you know, he's telling you there's more than one attorney looking into this. And then he's saying that they're going to look into all of this, including the Inspector General is taking care of some of it with Huber. Okay. So then what happened was, after this letter went out, he still kept getting pressed about it. And so, yeah, let's watch this really quick. Okay. So I'm going to let you watch this video in just a second. Hold on.
Letter to the Attorney General asking for a second special counsel, citing as part of that these so-called FISA abuses. So I asked the Attorney General what he thinks of their request.
Well, I have great respect for Mr. Gowdy and Chairman Goodlatte, and we're going to consider seriously their recommendations. I have appointed a person outside of Washington, many years in the Department of Justice, to look at all the allegations that the House Judiciary Committee members sent to us, and we're conducting that investigation. Also am well aware that we have a responsibility to ensure the integrity of the FISA process. We're not afraid to look at that. The Inspector General, some think that our Inspector General is not very strong, but he has almost 500 employees, most of which are lawyers and prosecutors, and they are looking at the FISA process. We must make sure it's done properly, and we're going to do that, and I'll consider their request.
I know that a couple of things the chairman outlined, that they were worried that the Inspector General wouldn't have the same kind of access or subpoena powers to certain people who may not be under the reach of the DOJ as employees. What do you say to that concern? That's
a concern that I think is worthy of consideration, and we will consider that and are considering it, actually.
Okay, so the FISA applications that we've heard so much about in the news, there have been requests directly to the FISA court to be able to see some of that material. It's been referred back to the DOJ. Would you all release those applications so that people can see what was in them?
I am determined to release everything that's properly releasable. It does tend to be that the more you put these documents out, many of which are very sensitive, the more they leak. So we have to be careful about that. We also have to follow the rules of the department and legal requirements. So, but for example, the text messages that caused quite a stir, those were produced at our effort to make sure we produce everything possible. The Inspector General actually found those first, and then we made that public and determined we could make it public. Some objected to it. So you're raising a good point. We need to get as much public out to the public as possible and do it in a way that breeds confidence. And if there are errors within the department, we need to fix them. So we've got a new FBI director. President Trump appointed him He's a talented person. He's got a new deputy replacing the previous deputy. We've got a new chief of staff in the FBI, a new communications director, a new chief counsel. So we've got a fresh start at the FBI, and these are people of integrity and ability. So I want the American people to know that things are being done, and we'll have the kind of department that everybody can respect. That is our...
Yeah, so if you listen to what he says, he's like, we're going to release it, but we have to make sure we can legally do it. And if there's information that's been submitted to a grand jury, sometimes it's not that simple to just release it. Okay? So I just want you to see that, you know, he's got to be very careful about what he says. But yeah, there's lots of articles here. Each one of the articles that I put on this Trello board for you guys has little hidden nuggets about different matters that are being investigated all over the place. So it's you know, if you need a little brush up on what's going on behind the scenes and what, you know, those are good articles to read. Okay. 1352 and 53, and then I also added 1356 because it has to deal with the same thing. All right. So Q gives us this link to the nationalsecurityaction.org, who we are. And when you go through and you see, this is posted by an ANON, the co-chairs are Jake Sullivan and Ben Rhodes. Those are two of Clinton cronies right there, okay? So they're on the board of directors of this thing, or co-chairs they call them. Here's the advisory council. More people. Just you know, as you go through, you'll be able to see more and more people that you recognize from the. Basically, it's like a gathering of the Obama administration. Truly, all right. And he said it says, we Americans, former senior officials and policy experts, academics and civil society leaders who have seen firsthand how the United States is stronger, safer, and more respected in the world when we stand strong with our allies, pursued principled diplomacy, and stay true to the values that have long defined America at home and abroad. Yeah, your values have defined us for long enough. Thank you very much. Susan Rice. And Q says, well done, Anon. Yeah. So, and then 1356 is an Anon that says this place is the shadow government. And he says, yes, that's right. Part of it anyway. Okay. So, let me show you what else I have here. My computer, I'll be so glad to get the new one. Okay, I did show you. All right, good. So if we go to this, you can go to this national security of who we are, and it'll just take you there. And when you're here, you can either click on the link, or I have the link in there. The one that I find treasonous, there's a treasonous section to this website, and it's their mission, or our focus, whatever. Yeah, you're focused on treason. Listen to this. A moment of alarm and action. I mean, oh, this I can hardly read the whole thing. So, under President Trump's reckless leadership, this is our president they're talking about. The United States is weaker in the world. Now, listen to this through the lens of all that you know now, okay? Less safe and more isolated. He is retreating from the world stage. Really? Can you say North Korea, South Korea? What he's done with China, Russia? Hello? Undercutting the intelligence and law enforcement agencies that keep us safe. You mean cleaning out the deep state? Let me translate for you. Undermining the diplomacy that prevents wars. You mean getting rid of the bad diplomats and cleaning out the State Department? Insulting our allies. You mean making them come clean? Attacking democratic traditions. Yeah, 100 years of it, where we've had enough. Thank you very much. And cozying up to dictators while abandoning America's commitment to universal rights and human dignity. Yeah, sure we are. By passing a it's not funny. It's ironic, and it makes me laugh because it's a joke. Yeah, because we passed a human trafficking bill. Yeah, that's what we do. He's totally against human rights and human dignity. His outbursts on Twitter are destabilizing abroad. Yeah. Can you say Little Rocket Man? Beneath the dignity of the highest office in our land. Do you know what? The regular people, the deplorables, love the way he talks. So there. I like that he taught plain speak. Anybody can understand him. Impulsive, erratic, and stagnantly ignorant of how the world works. Trump is unfit to lead our men and women in uniform. They love him. Sorry, they love him. And he diminishes our country's standing in the eyes of the world. Well, yeah, because he's not going to play the world game. It's just the Americans deserve a president and commander-in-chief who is disciplined. Yes, he is. Level-headed. Yes. Trustworthy. Yes. Who respects the democratic traditions and institutions. Well, not the way they are. Sorry. And we should never feel ashamed by his or her conduct. This thing goes on and on, you guys. President Trump is dismantling the sources of our strength in the world and making the United States less safe and putting Americans at risk. Can you believe this? His anti-Muslim fear-mongering, well, you mean like getting rid of the fake terrorists and ban on travelers from Muslim nations. You mean like, I just don't, look at this. National security, this is what we do. Listen. By retreating into nationalism, isolationism, unilateralism, and xenophobia, President Trump is surrendering America's hard-won leadership in the world, isolating us from our allies. They're not our allies. They're our bribe partners, emboldening our adversaries. Wait a minute. Our adversaries, the American public, think is Iran and North Korea. Oh, that's right. You mean controlled by the deep state? Oh, that. And weakening the United States as a global power. Bull crap. It's just crazy. So this thing goes on and on, remaining true to with his attacks on our democratic institutions. It's just, want some more? Now this one is the best one of all, guys. This is it. You ready? By hiding his tax returns, they're exposing corruption and making money off his businesses while negotiating with foreign governments that enrich him. President Trump and his family appear to be profiting off of the presidency and putting their own financial interests ahead of America's national security. So I think we all should go right here and send them a little email and tell them to Q send us, okay? That's what I think we should do. And if you don't have that meme, I'll add it to the board right now. I'll do it right now. You can download the meme, and all you got to do is email them. Who cares if they have your email? Just email them and send them the meme. I'm going to put it on there. Hold on, I'll get it. Okay, it's right here. And some of you might not like the language on it. It's got the F word in it, but I think that's kind of needed. Just saying. Anyway, if you want it, it's here. You can come and get it off the Trello board, download it, and shoot the national security action bull crappers. You could just send them that picture. Oh, is that not enough to make you just want to like pull your, like, really? I just want to like, oh God, I can't wait till this is all over. And I see it's happening. I can see it happening. All right, next post. And he attaches it to the next post. He just says loop. So national security action loop. Now, there's some people saying they think it might be connected to Loop Capital. I couldn't find any connections, but of course I dug for about a half hour and I really couldn't find any. So I can't find anybody that's connected to both, but I could have missed it, you guys. So please dig into that and see. But I put all the instances of Loop here that Q used. And one is, about Loop Capital, CEOs, board of directors paying to play. I'm sure I can't find anybody, but of course I didn't look at every single person. So if anybody knows of a connection between Loop Capital and that National Security Action website people on there, let me know. All right. And then Loop Capital Markets, it's the same thing. And then don't lose focus on Loop Capital, which was the very first one that, this is it. So this is April. He puts loop in it. He says, follow the loop. And this has to do with YouTube linking. YouTube will add information from Wikipedia videos about conspiracies. So, I don't know if he's just saying follow the loop, like they're all in the loop and follow. I don't know. But I can't figure out what he meant by that. I mean, it could have, it's 10 different things it could be, but I just don't see a connection between Loop Capital, the slush fund that he talked about, and the people there. But of course, I could be, you know, I have, like I said, I haven't had a chance to dig into each one. So if you guys find something, let me know. If I see something from the Anons, I'll bring it back up to you. All right. So then, next one, 1355, FBI and DOJ must clean. Once cleaned, implications huge. Don't forget the judges, though, many comped. And Q comes back and says, why are D's slow walking POTUS's federal judge nominations, J nominations? Watch what happens less than 30 or minus in less, you know, minus 30 within the next 30 days. Watch what happens. So the Democrats are slow walking his judge appointments to the federal benches, and you can't do anything until they get on there, or the whole system has to be correct, or everything they've worked for and all this time that we've put in goes straight down the tubes. Then you know what? The indictments will be sealed, and they'll be arrested, and they'll be acquitted. So that's why we have to wait until it gets done, and it's not a they can't even be confirmed because they're slow walking it. This has never happened this long in history of the United States, I don't think, as far as I know. Anyway, watch what happens in minus 30, he says. So I'll be looking forward. I'll be keeping an eye out for that. I want to see them get their, I want to see him get his people confirmed. We're going to Singapore. The POTUS is going to Singapore next month, and we don't have an ambassador to Singapore past the confirmation thing yet. He's way in the back of the line. Don't you think that they should like move him to the front of the line? I heard Scott Adams talking about this, and I agree with him that they shouldn't make POTUS look like such a, I mean, it's embarrassing that they can't even have an American ambassador there for their businesses to do business. You know, we can't do any kind of diplomacy with Singapore because we don't have an ambassador there. It's embarrassing. And we're sending our president there it's crazy. Okay. Anyway. So an Anon says, it's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I'm going back. Send our, get the guy confirmed and send him over there before June. It's embarrassing. All right. And then of course, POTUS looks like, you know, he'll be painted for the one like, oh, he picked a country. He doesn't even have an ambassador in there yet. Yeah, well, we can't get Okay. Q is saying there won't be arrests until the justice system is cleaned out. That has to include state judges. Do you have any idea how long that will take? We are now looking at it at next year for the rest of POTUS judges to be confirmed. That's just federal judges. Doesn't include state. And Q comes back and says to him, what must happen pre-11/11? 11/11 provides as strategic marker. Post midterms, red wave coming, strength, justice, Q. So it's not going to be forever. It is probably going to be a while. If we get a red wave come, then if he's still slow walking judges, they'll be approved right away. Okay. Hopefully it won't take that long, but it might. It might. I'm just telling you. This all has to be set up right. All right. Then an Anon says, thank you. We are an existential threat to the establishment, trusting the plan. These are the different times that he said 11/11. America will be unified again, 11/11/18 Q. These are all the times that he's used 11/11. Talking about Iran is next, and he says resolved by 11/11. So Iran will be taken care of by then. 11/11/18. This was back in March. A parade that will never be forgotten. Ask yourself why. God bless our brave men and women in uniform. We will never forget Q. Because I think a lot of this Iran stuff will be over. We won't be hostage anymore. That kind of stuff. I think it's going to be... I'm going to try to go. I just want to wait. I'm waiting to see it get like actually scheduled, because I don't want to like, you know, book a room down there and drive, because we'll drive. We're like 7 hours from Washington, D.C. We'll drive down there for the weekend or for that, you know, for that parade and stay. But I don't want to go down there if it's not confirmed and it gets changed and then, oh God, we've already lost, you know. So I need to wait to make plans as far as confirming. Yeah. Once it's confirmed, I'll let everybody know when we're going, and maybe we can all, you know, and if anybody else is going, we can all meet up for sure. I know I'm talking to some of the Patreon members about meeting, but I'll definitely let everyone on YouTube know, you know, where maybe we can meet for dinner one night or something if other people are going. All right, so this is post 1358, May the 13th, yesterday. Maybe it's going to come up, maybe it's not. Maybe it's the operator error, or maybe it's not. Trust must be earned. Trust is not blind, nor is truth. We fight every single day on behalf of you, the people who put us here. We knew this day would come. We will never forget. Do not glorify us. We are merely the vehicle. You are what matters. You are hope. You are love. You are peace. Stay united. Stay together. Stay strong. This is bigger than any one person or entity. You are fighting for truth, collectively. Will of the people. Trust in yourself. The choice will always be yours. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. Q plus. So whenever he does Q plus, I believe it's coming from the team. Interesting, the we, us, you know, yeah. All right, 1359 is... A group representing German trade interests said the U.S. decision to withdraw from the deal will hit German companies and urged the EU to protect their interests. Trade between Germany and Iran reached 3.4 billion euros, or $4 billion last year, according to BGA, another foreign trade association. What about Total SA? Total SA is a French multinational integrated oil and gas company and one of the 7 super major oil companies in the world. And then he gives us that same Iran daily.com article. Who recently visited the White House? What was their purpose? Coincidence? What about the safety and security of the world? What about preventing Iran nuclear capabilities? Fake news. Yeah, it's fake news, all right. Will the EU resort to protecting the deal so that the money flow remains in place? Why is Kerry in the EU? Why will the U.S. be forced to ban and declare certain EU countries off limits? Who controls elected leaders? Who do elected leaders report to? Pickle. Will Iran expose the names of corrupt officials? Pickle. Will the U.S. expose the names of corrupt officials plus the con deal? We await your answer. 48. On guard. Q. This is a really interesting post. So this is a chart, and it's from the BBC, and it says European oil companies could be particularly hit. French company Total, which is Total AS, it's the large, you know, we know what it is now because we read it, signed a $5 billion deal with Iran after the agreement, while BP has a joint venture to operate the Rum gas field with Iran's state oil company. So right there you're seeing Total and BP. All right, so he's asking in the post before, you know, what about Total SA? What's going to happen to them? It really puts them in a bad position. So then it says, who recently visited the White House. So we know it was Macron, French, right? This is why they're running around like crazy. What was their purpose? To ask POTUS to stay in the deal, to try to convince them to stay in the deal. Coincidence? What about safety and security of the world? Yeah, it's a bunch of fake news. Will the EU resort to protecting the deal so the money flow remains in place? They might. Why is Kerry in the EU? He's trying to keep... He's over there saying, oh, don't worry. He won't be in office long. He's going to be impeached. Don't worry about it. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there. Okay? Will the U.S. be forced to ban and declare certain EU countries off limits? Maybe. Who controls elected leaders and who do elected leaders report to? Their special interests, the companies that control them, which is the next level up. Okay? It's a higher level up in the deep state. And then if they're in a pickle, and they're in a pickle if they stay in, and they're in a pickle if they come out. So if they stay in, they're going to have to answer to the companies, the big companies, okay? The money people. If Iran exposes the names of the corrupt officials there in the EU, they're also in a pickle. So it's like they're damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't. And will the U.S. expose the names of corrupt officials plus con deal? He says, we await your answer, 48. I can't prove this, but it makes me feel like he's actually talking to them and saying, you got 48 hours. We're on guard. Q. Okay? That's my take on it. So I just want to show you this one more thing about this Total Total SA company in France. Come on. This is that same website that I showed you earlier. Man, I've got so many answers out of this website. It's unbelievable. But it says European oil companies could be particularly hit. This is the BBC article. So what they do is they take this they put all the company's information, and they give you the latest news. So you can go here and just say in 2017, the state of Alaska, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee listed Total on its list of companies doing material business with Iran, rendering Total ineligible for investment and or state contracting. So they couldn't get state contracting because they were doing business with Iran in 2017. Wow. Yeah. Just come here and read. You can go all the way back. Like it goes all the way back to the deal. It's amazing. Yeah, so if you want more information on what's going on with this French company and Iran and their business dealings, you can just click this link and come here and see it. All right. I forgot to show you guys something too. In this very first post that we went over, 1345, where it talks about uranium-1 and Iran, where I gave you the PDF here for all the drops regarding Iran. Yeah, it's like 21 pages long. So I just found every single post that mentioned Iran. If it was, it's make sure you go back and read that and just look at it, reread the Q's post. It really will help you figure out what's going on if you're kind of newer to to this movement. Then I put a report on here. This talks about the uranium-1 deal. It's the X22 report. Excellent person. Love this channel. But this is the one I want you to see. I'm going to let this play. I'm not going to let it play here, but I've started it at the 24-minute, 55-second, and this is actually uranium-1 explained. If you are struggling, the newer people, or people that just, don't understand geopolitics really well, or what's going on with these deals, and you need some clarification, Peter Schweitzer wrote a book called Money in Politics. He also wrote Clinton Cash, but he really goes over in very plain speak how the uranium-1 deal actually worked. It's very enlightening. It talks about everything that we've been talking about here. So I think that would really help you. All right. So you come to the Trello board and you can get those links to the YouTube. Okay. This last post here starts off with a picture of John Kerry and Assad sitting together. Post 1360. And then underneath of it is just basically they've switched sides. It's Assad and Nancy Pelosi. I believe this one's from 2007, and this might be from 2014 or 2015. I don't really recall. We'll see here in a minute. Okay. So, and what I did, and then the second part of the post, I'll get to in a second, but this is actually the link to this article from the Associated Press. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi met Syrian President Bashar al-Assad on Wednesday for talks criticized by the White House as undermining American efforts to isolate the hardline Arab country. And you'd have to understand what the relationship between Syria and President Bush was. It's just, yeah. But this, I thought maybe you guys could read this and you just kind of find out what she's supposedly doing there. It's crazy. And then this one talks about Kerry, a frequent visitor with Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad, and it's here, okay? This is the second part. It says full circle, and then it gives an article in The Hill, which I have the links to in this card above, presidential campaign, Huma Abedin's ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, which we've gone over in previous posts. And then the same one with the Michelle Bachmann letter responding to Ellison is here. And we've gone over both of these in previous posts, but he's saying it's all connected. Welcome back, Huma. Now comes the pain. Q. Whew, boy, I'm ready to see some of this go down. I can't even tell you. All right, so if you go down to the bottom here, I've included WikiLeaks released an audio from a September 22nd, 2016 meeting in which John Kerry admitted to funding and arming ISIS. Okay, and you can actually hear him talking. This is the short version here, and there's a lot. The longer version of it is here. So, yeah, leaked audio. It's crazy. So I don't know if you guys have seen that before, but it's something to hear. I'll tell you, they're all crooks. You're a crook. They're crooks. I'm not. Who said that? Who said that? Nixon. I am not a crook. All right. That's it. We're up to date. We are up to date as of May the 14th at 9:49 a.m. Before we sign off, let's just check. I just click my little button. It'll say searching for posts. If you guys enjoy my work and you'd like to support me, my PayPal link is in the bottom. Or I'm sorry, it's in the description section. What am I doing? And also my Patreon, if you'd like to become a Patreon. Either way, I appreciate your support and help. I am excited because with your help, I was able to get a new computer. It's a refurbished computer, but it's new. They're like brand new, and I've gotten several of these. And so I am excited to put it together and hopefully make, this computer fights me sometimes. So maybe it'll be just a little easier to get around in. I hope. If not, if it turns out that it's not, then you'll know it was me. Okay. Which it could very well be. But this computer has just been really, oh my God, acting up so bad. I'm done talking about the post. So if you don't want to hear me talk, I'm just talking now. You can just click out. You don't have to say like, oh God, do you ever shut up? You can just go. But, yeah, so I get really frustrated with hardware. So I'm not going to even take it out of the box until Jim gets home. I'm going to just let him do it. He's so calm, you guys. I wish you could see him. He just takes it out of the box and puts it together. Me, I'd be like, do you have a screwdriver? What do you need? I just drive him crazy. I'll go for a drive and see my grandson while he does it. I'll come back and it'll be all put together. He's a good guy. Really is. Okay. I'm going to sign off for the morning, and if Q comes back, I'll be back. And it would be really nice. I have a lot of things I'd love to share with you guys, but I never have time. I guess I could share this one more thing if you want to hang in. Like I said, you guys can click out of this video anytime you like, but let me show you. Let me show you something. Let me find it. Wait a second. Okay, so the other day when I was going over a post from May the 10th, I believe it was. Let's see. It was when I had it under post 1332. The fellow patriots, what you are about to learn should not only scare you, but intensify your resolve to take back control. Freedom, information that will become public, will further demonstrate the criminal and corrupt, pure evil, abuse of power that the Hussein administration undertook in joint efforts with domestic and foreign dignitaries. The snowball has begun rolling. There is no stopping it now. And all 1,000 of you that let me know that D5 means the highest level of avalanche, thank you for that. And now I know. I think that might be the correct meaning there. So thank you for that. But I also put on the end of this something for, and it was here. It's right here. And you can see I added it on May the 11th at 6:40 p.m. It's right here. But sometimes it'll show up like this, where it'll say "too hidden," and I must have forgotten, and it's too bad because I really wanted to show you what an Anon had found on 8chan, which you may have seen from someone else by this point, but it's post 74 on Patriots Fight board here. If you can see this, it's Patriots Fight post number 74, and it's what I just read you, okay? But that's post 74. Check this out. This could only be done with President Trump's awareness, approval, and participation. Q74. Look at this. So remember, it was post 74. See? Q74. Foretelling Q's 74th post on Patriots Fight. And this was done on the night that the hostages were released, which was the night before that post. So, yeah. Q74. Now, I will tell you, in all fairness, I worked with my local fire department as a dispatcher for almost 10 years, and a lot of ours are all Q2 also. So, because it's a quint. Anything with a ladder that comes, it's a certain type of fire truck called a quint. And these are quints here that they're using in this picture. However, the neighboring town, their quints are not Qs, but there is a Q on the back of it because it stands for quint. But the fact that it's Q74 right here, I mean, they could have gotten Q70. They could have gotten Q21, and we wouldn't have thought a thing of it. But Q74, the day before, using it the day before this post comes out, is amazing to me. Because this is post, if you look here, it's post 74. Right here. Oh, and when it's that low number, it's on Patriot's Fight board, and it's this one. That is just amazing, right? He says, first part of the post, Q74, is President Trump directly. Tone, tenor, and syntax like the early October-November 2017 post. That's exactly what I said. D5 is his signature, 45, and also his affirmation that this is the biggest avalanche. So he's saying it's both. Excuse me for the cough. This is why Trump had the fire engine with the big Q74 sign lit up brilliantly, holding up at a huge American flag on the newscast, welcoming home the 3 North Korean hostages. He was forecasting this post and saying to pay big attention to it, which there's another proof. So if you guys were looking for one, a lot of you have seen this already because you mentioned it to me, and that's what made me remember to add this to the end of the thing. And I meant to show it to you the other night and just got, blah, 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 how I do, just talk, and I forgot. All right, so there you go. Amazing. All right, I love you guys, and I'll be back soon. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.